Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing stupendously. Coming at you with something a little bit different today, as due to the wonderful state of the world that it is currently in, and moving back home, I have unfortunately lost my local Conquest players. So coming at you through the power of the internet of Tabletop Simulator with one of my Conquest buddies, Patrick.
Hello.
So today Patrick will be gracing us with the 100 Kingdoms, and I'll be playing the Nords as we fight in this lovely swampy village for supremacy.
Yeah,
So,
kill
what
some
do
filthy
you...
barbarians.
Indeed you are. So, what are you bringing to the table today?
So I have 3 stands of mercenary crossbows with a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I have three stands of household knights with a leader and a banner bearer, and they're accompanying my warlord, which is a noble lord on some mount. I've also got some men at arms with a standard bearer, leader, and what do they call him?
Seasoned veteran?
Seasoned veteran, that's the one. And then in my heavy slots, 3 stands Steel Legion with a banner bearer and a leader, and they are accompanying my Imperial officer, who has various relics and stuff we'll get into when they come up, I guess.
Awesome stuff. Whereas, meanwhile, for the Nords, we have got, for your regular old lights, we've got 2 units of raiders, both with standard bearers and leaders. One of them will be joined by my Jarl, who is not the Warlord. Then in the other light slot we have a unit of Stalkers that will be joined by my Bloodied, who is the Warlord. Then for mediums we have a unit of 4 Urgers, and finally for the heavy slot we have the big boy that is a Mountain Jotnar.
What a big chunky boy.
Yes, well, that's an overview of the armies. Without further ado, let's get into the battle. For this video, we will be using Scenario 1 from the core rulebook, head to head. Played on a 4x4 area. Players first roll off to decide which side each player will have, and then that becomes their designated reinforcement zone. The game will continue for 10 turns, or until one side has scored 8 points, is completely eliminated, or concedes. Victory points are scored at the end of each turn, with 1 point being awarded for each command card removed from play, that is the enemy's. 2 victory points being awarded for killing the enemy with Warlord, stacking with any secondary objectives that require the slaying of a Warlord. And finally, 1 victory point for each secondary objective completed during your turn. Winning the roll-off to decide their board edge, the 100 Kingdoms elected to stay on the side with their models, meaning the Nords would be taking the opposite board edge. With the reinforcement zones decided, let's get in to the secondary objectives. Kicking off the secondaries, the Nords first drew Not Fit to Rule. This objective is scored when the enemy's Warlord is slain as the result of a duel action by any other character. If you're lucky enough to have your Warlord land this kill, the objective becomes worth double the allocated points as dictated by the mission. Next up was Step on Their Dead, which is scored upon an enemy regiment being broken and then shattered by a combat in the exact same turn. And finally was Ambush, an objective that is scored if a regiment performs a successful charge against either the flank or rear of the enemy. These 3 objectives are looking pretty good for the Nords, with all 3 of them easily scoreable. Meanwhile, the 100 Kingdoms kicked off the secondary objectives by first scoring Shatter Their Spirits. This objective is scored once an enemy regiment becomes shattered. Second came Forging a Legend, a complicated objective that is scored at the end of the turn in which you have only 1 regiment in your opponent's half of the battlefield and he or she have at least 3 regiments in their half of the battlefield. Alternatively, it can also be scored if one of the 100 Kingdoms' unbroken regiments is engaged with 2 or more enemy regiments on different facings. And finally, they drew Kingslayer. Much like Not Fit to Rule, this objective is scored upon the enemy Warlord being slain. The secondaries certainly could have been nicer to the 100 Kingdoms. Shatter Their Spirit and Kingslayer seem to be easy enough to score, but Forging a Legend is going to be really tough. Patrick is going to have to work hard if he wants to be able to score this one. Secondary objectives out the way and battlefield edges decided, let's get in to turn 1. Turn 1's reinforcement phase went well for the Nords. With one die succeeding on the reinforcement roll, the unit of raiders with Jarl are showing up, and, thanks to the Blooded's supremacy ability, the Stalkers also are nominated to show up, bringing the Blooded with them. With the 100 Kingdoms only having one light unit of mercenary crossbowmen, Patrick gives it a roll and they successfully show up. With the reinforcement stage over and command stacks all mustered, supremacy is rolled and the 100 Kingdoms win the roll off with a 6. Their only unit of mercenary crossbowmen proceed to activate and elect to march forward twice, trying to get closer to the Nords to loose some shots. Meanwhile, for the Nords, their turn begins with the unit of raiders, also electing just to march twice onto the table. Following that is the unit of Stalkers, who, much like every other unit this turn, also do the same. With a rather uneventful turn 1 out of the way, let's move swiftly on to turn 2. Turn 2's reinforcement phase once again sees the Nords utilise the Blooded Supremacy ability, choosing to have the Urga automatically arrive. On top of that, a successful reinforcement roll is made, meaning the second unit of raiders will also be showing up. Meanwhile, for the 100 Kingdoms, it seems that Nuffle has decided to turn his back on Patrick, with both reinforcement rolls failing, meaning once again, just the mercenary crossbowmen are left to hold the line against the vicious Nords. The 100 Kingdoms once again win the supremacy roll, meaning the unit of mercenary crossbowmen elects to start their turn by first marching forward several inches and then unleashing a volley into the nearby unit of raiders.
I'm outside of half, I'm at long range, so I only get half the number of shots. Correct?
Correct. So that'll be 6 shots.
6, looking for... What is our volley? We have a volley of 2, so we're looking for 2 downs. Let's see what I can do.
Whoa.
1 success. Haha! But I do have AP1 on this.
AP1, which reduces the defense of the raiders to 1, that is 1 anyway, and a 1 is always a success. So looking for a 1. Nope.
Phew.
That is 1 dead raider.
Haha, suck it, raiders.
The activations for the Nords this turn are much like the first turn, with units both arriving and electing to march straight onto the board, and both units that are already on the board also electing to march straight towards the 100 Kingdoms, ready for a nice brawl next turn. Turn 3's reinforcement phase sees the arrival of the last Nord unit, with the Mountain Jotnar once again taking advantage of the Blooded's supremacy ability and choosing to automatically pass his reinforcement roll. And unfortunately, for the 100 Kingdoms, it seems Nuffle's grudge is still present, as Patrick fails both rolls for his medium units. However, there is a bright side, with the Steel Legion and Imperial officers succeeding on their roll, so at least the mercenary crossbowmen will have some heavy armour to back them up this turn. 100 Kingdoms once again win the supremacy roll, and choose to kick off their turn with the mercenary crossbowmen, choosing to aim and then launch a volley into the unit of raiders that's staring them down.
Looking for 3 downs. Go. I can reroll 1 failed because there's a leader in there that I forgot about last time. So doing the 1 reroll over here is a 2, so that's 10 successes.
Looking for 1 downs on this one. That is 3 successes and 7 fails. 7 more raiders bite the dust. the Nords choose to kick things off with the unit of raiders that's just taken a couple casualties, electing to charge straight at these mercenary crossbowmen in the hope that they can cut them down before any more damage is inflicted. Being within 8 inches of you, they are going to declare a charge.
Oh. Please screw this up. Make my day.
Oh.
That's out.
2 for their charge roll. So hoping for a slightly better roll this time. Let's give it a re-roll with a 3. That is enough.
Oh no.
As they march their 8 inches forwards. So both the raiders and the Jarl have throwing weapons, which means they do impact hits. So we have 3 impact hits from the Jarl, looking for a 3 down.
Just fail all of them. No.
With
No.
2 successes.
Well, I am only defense 1 on my crossbowman. So let's see if we can make any saves here. Nope.
As 2 crossbowmen get mulched in the impact. And then next up we have the raiders' impact hits, of which there will be 2. Both of which will fail.
That's what I like to see.
However, for their second action, they will make their clash action. And thanks to the charge, they've received a free inspire.
That's not so good. Stand brave, little crossbowman.
Starting with the clash actions, we're going to start off with the Jarl, who has his 6 attacks into these poor mercenary crossbowmen.
Not
Looking
my boys.
for a 4 down because he charged. That'll be 5 hits. Once again, no cleave on these. So that'll be 5 saves of your defensive 1.
Roll well.
That
4
is
die.
another 4 gone. And then next up we have the 4 raiders that remain. 3 down. And thanks to their flurry, they get to reroll any fails. So that is 3 successes with 1 reroll, becoming a success. So that is 4 more armor saves.
Oh no, my boy.
Another 4 dead. They've lost another 4. They go from broken to shattered as the last 2 mercenary crossbowmen run for their poor little lives away from these raiders.
My boys.
I now score step on their dead, as a enemy regiment was both broken and then shattered in the same turn. The second activation for the 100 Kingdoms is the Steel Legion, choosing to march onto the board and then risking a charge into the newly freed up unit of raiders in the hopes to tie them up.
I will then charge with the Steel Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling a dice and adding that to it.
Yeah, adding a 2, giving them a total of 7. Just enough.
Which is just enough.
With the Imperial officer's regiment now in base contact with an enemy regiment, he elects to duel the Jarl. A brave undertaking. Let's see how this turns out. And of course, the ever-brave Jarl shall choose to accept the challenge.
I think I might have made a small mistake here, but we'll find out.
So we both attack simultaneously, though obviously if you want, I'll allow this Imperial officer to take his roll first. So
okay.
we have 4 attacks from the Imperial officer with his clash of 2 into the Jarl.
Yes. And go.
Oh!
Thanks.
Failing to hold face, he whiffs the attacks. Meanwhile, the Jarl is going to hit him back with his 6 attacks. looking for 3 down.
Thanks, Imperial officer.
That'll be 3 hits onto him.
Well, he has... Do you have any armor piercing on that or anything? Or cleave?
No cleave on the Jarl.
So I have a defense of 3, though.
So 3 looking for 3 down.
So the 3 saves.
Will fail. That is 3 wounds onto him.
Well, you didn't do great there, buddy. And that goes to you.
Indeed, it does. The rest of the Nord's turn, much like others, sees units elect to march further up the board, outside when it comes to the Jarl, who, in response to wounding the Imperial officer earlier that turn, chooses once again to issue a duel in the hopes of striking the final blow.
Yeah, we will accept the duel. He is no coward.
Cool. So let's get going with the Jarl. So he'll make his 6 attacks, looking for 3 down. Scoring 1 hit. Oh, but 1 is all he needs.
Right, and I need to 1 3-down save is all I need
Oh.
to not die here.
Can he
Come
make it?
on.
Hey! He dies,
it's
but he does
down.
get to strike me at the same time still. So is he able to reap some blows before he falls?
What?
Here goes 1.
Oh, you useless.
The Jarl with his defense of 1.
You crappy little lord. Why?
The Jarl of his defense of 1 will take a damage for his pleasure, however. With the loss of the Imperial officer and regiment of mercenary crossbowmen, on top of a completed secondary objective for the Nords, they end the turn on 3 victory points. Meanwhile, the 100 Kingdoms remain on 0, having yet to kill a unit or score any secondaries. Let's see if the tides can turn for the 100 Kingdoms as we get into turn 4. With all units having arrived for the Nords, turn 4's reinforcement phase was nice and simple. Meanwhile, for 100 Kingdoms, luck finally strikes home, with medium regiments automatically arriving this turn. Enough all hindrances out the way, hopefully this turn will be where the 100 Kingdoms are able to start clawing back the battle. Winning the supremacy roll for the 4th turn in the row, the 100 Kingdoms decide to kick things off with the Steel Legion. So they perchance gonna inspire and clash into my unit?
Now, here's my debate. I can either inspire and clash and definitely take out one. But I'm thinking what I do is I clash and then I march backwards.
The Steel Legion only march forward, you coward.
Tactical withdrawal. I am just going to clash.
Cool. Very brave.
I
Let's see if
think-
the gambit pays off.
So I have 12 attacks on 3 downs. Womp.
Getting 8 successes.
And I can reroll one of my faileds because I have a leader in there, which does nothing.
8 with a -1. That is indeed 6 fails. There are 4 of them left, which means the last of the raiders will fall to the blows of the Steel Legion. However, the Jarl, in his mighty ways, will not die quietly as he dies fighting and lashes out at the Steel Legion with a frantic flurry of blows before falling in battle, as he will smack the Steel Legion 6 times for their trouble. Looking for 3 down, getting 2 blows,
2, 4.
no cleave, so
So my Steel Legion luckily have a defense of 3 because we have good plate armor. So let us see if we can pass this 2 saves.
nope, 2
Nope.
fall. to the Jarl's blows as the Jarl
Two
is slain.
die. But I'm then going to take my second action with my Steel Legion.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna... We don't want to be charged by the ogres. We're just gonna march backward.
The Nords choose to kick things off with a unit of raiders, moving it in nice and snug behind the Urga, getting ready to hold the middle as the rest of the Hundred Kingdoms forces march onto the board. For their second activation, Patrick chose the Noble Lord. Now, seeing as the Noble Lord is not on the board, this delay tactic will help him see where the rest of the Nords move before he has to bring on his knights, giving them more information and hopefully allowing them to charge a unit the turn they arrive. For their second activation, the Nords choose to activate the Urga, marching forward once to sit 9 inches away from the Steel Legion, meaning it will be a difficult charge for them to pull off, but hopefully an easy charge for the Urga with their superior movement. Thirdly for the Hundred Kingdoms is the Household Knights, as they march onto the board opposite the Stalkers and declare a bold charge.
And then... they're gonna try and charge your Stalkers.
Mm-hmm. It's a long bomb charge.
It's not that long, well.
No, not bad with a
They
thingy of it.
move anyway, so...
Let's give it a roll. That is a 1. That'll be a 9 inches.
We have a banner, so I can re-roll this.
Into a 3. That gives him a 11, which should be enough.
Everyone in the unit gets to re-roll failed impact hits as a passive for the Noble Lord being my Warlord. 6 from the
Household Knights.
regular Household Knights. Their clash is a 2 down. And that's only 4. We just up it to 6. Let's see what we get. Right, that's 4 successes. Rerolling the 2 failed. Nope. Thanks. Thanks, dice roller. So the 2 failed are re-rolled into 1 more hit.
That is 5 so far.
Yeah. So that's
And then
5 from
the
them,
Noble Lord.
3 from the Noble Lord. And he is clash of 3. And we'll see this.
Nope.
Get to re-roll all of them though.
So do the rerolls save the day?
Uh,
1 goes
that's
through.
another one.
So that's a total of 6.
6 impact hits at AP 2 because they're brutal 2.
So that'll be, as always, looking for 1s on my dudes. No successes. That is 6 get flattened. The third unit activated for the Nords would have been the unit of raiders, but seeing as it's been destroyed, the card is discarded, meaning next up are the Stalkers, who, rather unsurprisingly, decide to take an Inspire then Clash action back at the Household Knights that were brave enough to charge them. We'll start with the Stalkers themselves over the Blooded, as the Blooded is just gonna, see how successful his buds are. Getting a lovely 1 attack each with a clash of 3. That'll be 6 attacks. Looking for 3 down. With 4 hits. No cleave on these, so just your flat defense.
I am defense 3, but because you're attacking me from the front arc, my shields protect me. So I am defense 4. And there are 4 of them. Go. Aha! We are completely successful.
Shrug off the blows. Lovely. The Blooded is now going to take his 4 strikes at you.
I'm gonna shoot. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not his card.
No, he just turned
me.
it. So he has a clash of 5 with the Inspire. Swinging into your Nighty Knights. That is 4 successes. Cleave 2. So dropping your armor down to 2.
So 4 cooldowns. Saves 3.
Oh.
Fail 1.
That
so
is 1 damage.
And damage on an horseman.
And that'll be 1 morale check as well.
Yeah. So I have a resolve of 3. So I make a 1 3 down, which I fail. So I take an extra wound.
As you have taken 2 on the horses. Finally, for the 100 Kingdoms is the unit of men-at-arms, who simply choose to march onto the table and sab for a charge, ready for next turn. Next up for the Nords would have been the Jarl, but due to his untimely death, things skip straight to the next card in the stack, which is the Blooded, who is going to issue a duel on your noble
I will
lord.
accept your duel.
Awesome. Well, let's have this lovely showdown. So we have a clash of 4 and 4 attacks from the Blooded onto your noble lord, with 3 hits, cleave of 2.
So he's now on 1 downs. Succeeds 1, fails 3. So he is down to 1 wound remaining.
Oof. Narrowly avoiding a killing blow.
And now he's going to hit you back.
Mm-hmm.
Back with his 5 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
With a clash of 3. Not getting the fury. So go. 3 successes.
3. Cool. Mm-hmm. Bom bom. Nope. Looking for 1 downs. That is 2 that go through. Dropping him
down
to 2. The Nords round out the turn with the Mountain Jotnar, who decides to march closer to the Household Knights, ready to set up a charge should the Stalkers fall next turn. It seems like the luck is finally starting to turn in the 100 Kingdoms' favour, as they score 2 points this turn for eliminating the unit of raiders along with the Jarl. However, let's see if their luck will continue as we move on in to turn 5. With both armies having had all their units arrive from reinforcements, the reinforcements phase is skipped, meaning it moves straight onto the supremacy roll, which is, for the 5th turn in the row, won by the 100 Kingdom. Patrick chooses to kick things off with the Steel Legion, who decide to attempt a bold charge into the Urgers, needing a 4 or more, a coin flip.
Yeah.
He flips the coin, and he fails, but
I can re-roll.
Reroll with the banner. Come on. Nope. So the Steel Legion charge forwards. They're 7 inches, but fall short. Sensing an opportunity to score not fit to rule, the Nords choose to start off with the Blooded, who declares a duel into the Noble Lord.
My noble lord will accept your duel.
Cool. So we have a lovely clash of 4 and 4 attacks on behalf of the Bloodied, of which 3 will land. So a cleave of 2.
Down to a save of 1.
And the Noble Lord falls.
Will fall, but
striking
will
back.
get to make his attacks first. He gets to make his 5 attacks. They all succeed.
Oh, this is looking like equal
on
death
your
for
wands.
him. Yep, as the
Yeah.
two characters slay one another. However, that does score for me. Not fit to rule.
It also scores for me Kingslayer.
And because it was your Warlord, I get double the points.
Ugh.
So I get 2 points for achieving that one, and then 2 for slaying the enemy Warlord from the mission, versus your 1 for Kingslayer, and 2 for slaying the enemy Warlord.
Yeah.
Next up for the 100 Kingdoms would have been the Noble Lord. However, seeing as he was slain, the activation prior, it skipped straight onto the next card in the stack, which is the Household Knights, who, seeking revenge for their slain Liege Lord, choose to inspire and clash with the unit of Stalkers.
So that's 9 attacks into you. We will first inspire, so we're on a clash of 3.
To a lovely clash of 3. So we have got 9 attacks.
Making 6 successes.
Oh, nasty. Shall Knights land their blows? The Stalkers just have
I
their...
get to reroll 1 failed because of my leader.
Yes. Bringing it... Nope. So still just 6. Looking for 1 downs on the remaining Stalkers. And without even needing to shatter, the remaining 6 Stalkers are slain. Second up for the Nords are the Urga, who decide to declare a charge at the Steel Legion, hoping to finish them off and score the final victory point needed to win. No need to roll, they're just gonna move on in. 8 impact hits with their clash of 3.
Yep.
Scoring 3 with a cleave of 2.
Cool. So they're down to 1s. Yeah, defense down to 1. And 3. 3 are slain.
And then they will make their clash action against you. 16 into... There's poor remaining Steel Legion. Looking for 4 downs due to the free inspire from charging. With 12 succeeding at cleave of 2. Failing 8. 8 is all that remain. So unfortunately the Steel Legion fall. Again, there's another point for the Nords. And that is the Urga all done. So over to the 100 Kingdoms. Finally, for the 100 Kingdoms are the unit of men-at-arms, who declare a charge into the Urga, seeking revenge for the death of the Steel Legion.
They got to do something with their lives. Might as well throw it away charging some Urgas.
Charge! Nope. Do they have a banner? Yes, they do. They can give it a reroll. Might just be enough.
Yep.
It's an 8 with their 5-inch move. Yep.
They charge like that. So, like so. And then we'll make a clash action.
As you have 2 stands that are in. So that'll be 8 attacks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 supports, giving you 12 total.
With normally a clash of 2 going up to 3 because of the fact we charged. So I made 7 successes.
7 successes with 1 reroll. Yep.
1 failed,
Nope.
which doesn't do
Still
anything.
7. Any cleave on these?
There is no cleave on these.
So 7 at 2 down for the Urga. Failing 1. As 1 Urga takes a little wound, and then 1 resolve check for the Urgas with a resolve of 2. Takes another, so 1 takes 2. With the 100 Kingdoms now finished, all that's left are the Nords. First up are the unit of Raiders, who choose to march a little bit further forward, and then finally the Mountain Jotnar, who, Seeking some final sweet kills, chooses to charge into the Household Knights, hoping to lay low at least one of them.
This is gonna hurt.
Thonk, thonk, thonk. As he slams into the Household Knights. 6 impact hits.
Yeah.
With a cleave of 3. Not cleave, a clash of 3, I should say.
Yeah.
Getting 2 successes.
3, and I'm looking for 4 downs for my Household Knights because they are shielded. And we love them.
Awesome stuff. And then he's gonna swing with his 12 attacks.
Yeah.
Looking for 4 down because of the free inspire. And landing 7 of them with a cleave of 1.
So I get my 3 down saves on 7. Failing
2
2
fail.
of them. So it kills 1 knight.
And then 2 morale checks for you.
Yes.
With a -1 to your resolve, because unsurprisingly this giant is terrifying.
So I then 2 downs. And then need to make 2 of them. Pass 1, fail 1, so take an extra wound on one of the knights.
And with the end of the round drawing to a close, it spells victory for the Nords. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider dropping it a like and maybe even subscribing, as it really does help with the magical mystical YouTube algorithm. This is the first of my Tabletop Simulator battle reports, and so I would love some feedback, as whilst I'm more likely to produce more in-person battle reports, from time to time it could be nice to mix things up with a TTS battle report. So please, let me know of any feedback you have, what you thought of it, if you enjoyed it, and what you'd like to see. But with that said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.